Welcome back, y'all, to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasAllNetRadio.com. You can email your favorite Sin City host, Sierra at Sin City Bounty, Toxie at Sin City Bounty, or yours truly, Sweet Cheeks at SinCityBounty.com. Send us an email, ask us your questions, get to know us like Danny, and buy us nails if you want. Hey, we love you guys. You guys are our fans.
And I'm not a porn girl, so my Amazon wish list is still active. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and you know what's the crazy thing is that I don't know if they went through profiles and determined, but yeah, so you just have to go in and
no,
say, my family lives in Michigan and they try to send me gifts and my address isn't activated right. Can you fix it so my family can send me my sexy nightie that's on my list?
Yeah, and since none of my
vibrators on my list.
Yeah, since none of my shit is vibrators and 90s, it's all like iPads and cars.
Well, I have iPads and hot tubs and
I
sofas
and mine's like $5 styluses. Like, just send me a stylus, I'd be happy. Like,
yeah. We're talking about the Amazon wish list that Amazon kind of went through and screened, and so they like took the addresses off of anybody they thought was industry people. And mine is not really industry related because I did it. We're on the show. It was show related. So I have to call Amazon and go, oh, my family from Michigan wants to send me gifts on Amazon, and they can't because you take my address off.
What they've probably done, because this is how a lot of the people are like, oh, my thing was disabled, and like 500 people had their things disabled at the same time. What they do is they program a bot. That's a space on a computer that's going to pretend it's human for a little while and go searching.
Okay.
They take
like keywords or something?
Nope, they take your email address. The email address that you've given them as a contact email address. They put that bot basically Googles your email address, and then every time your email address comes up on a link, they search that link and they're looking for keywords on that page. So it would have popped up your Twitter feed, and it would have popped up if you have Instagram or Facebook or anything
Twitter
else.
Did me in.
And that's how a lot of like when you suddenly like Twitter explodes with, like all of your favorite porn stars are suddenly like, oh, my Tumblr site is down. That's because they took their email address and they put it in the search engine, and because for ease of use everybody uses the same email address for all their accounts, it starts dinging.
Yep, you're right.
So
they'll find Backpage on there. They'll find Twitter. They'll find all kinds of ugly stuff.
If you're going to be in the industry and you don't want your shit shut down, it's difficult and it's a pain in the ass, but have a different email address for every account on the internet you have.
Oh, jeez.
See?
It's kind of way too late for that now.
Yeah.
I don't know
well, you can go on and change them.
Yeah,
you can go on to Gmail.
But then I would have to make like 85 Gmail accounts.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
You can link them all together.
Twitter at gmail.com, Sweet Cheeks. Make it easy. Sweet
you know
Cheeks,
what?
Instagram.
I'm too damn old to worry about who knows what.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you can't want to send me a gift and you can't do it on Amazon, go to you can pay for her nails, or you can go to Walmart and you can get a green dot reload card, because I have a green dot card. Send me the number and we're all good.
We have a mailing address here in town, and if you want to buy a gift and send it to us, because you can just go on Amazon on your own damn account and enter a shipping address, email me and I will give you our mailing address here in town, and you can send it to us, and I will make sure that if I don't like it, I give it to whoever it was addressed to.
And we like sexy nighties, and we like vibrators, and we love cars, and
I don't like any of that. I don't like people buying me stuff.
I want an Asus tablet and a Coach purse. Although I need to hit up your Coach bag list and just be like, what have you not used in a year? Can I have this?
See, you guys, I am so like, I don't care if it's got a name. I don't care if it's a Coach. I don't care. I mean, I have a Michael Kors. I have 3 Coaches.
Right.
Do you ever see them used?
I am so...
I have a Dooney and Burke.
Like, I am so low-key when it comes to most things. I don't give a crap. You know what I'm saying? I wear flip-flops all the time, not fancy shoes. I have
no
a basic
designer
car.
names, right? Yeah.
No, my clothes are from Lane Bryant, and only when it's super on sale.
The clearance rack when it's on clearance.
Oh yeah, I'm there.
My shampoo, I used to buy expensive shampoo, but now I'm just like, if I can't get it at Target, I don't need it now. My money's filtered towards the kids stuff. But I draw the line, like I'm a Coach whore. it's my one enjoyment.
And that's
and
good.
then,
You can have your one, like,
like
vice.
that's my one thing. And then my other one, like for example, I went to Ulta yesterday, and so I splurge a little sometimes, and I buy certain makeup items that I might pay a little more for than I really should, because I
That's
can
all
get
right.
Maybelline if I must. But
Meanwhile, I'm at Big Lots going $3. I ain't paying $3 for that.
But I don't do it all the time. But
No, you're allowed to treat yourself.
yeah, so that's mine. I go nuts and I'm like, where do I go first? And one time I went, I totally
I'm
Julia
like that
Roberts
at the Container Store.
Yeah, the Container Store.
It's so stupid. I'm such an organizational, like, she was in my house. You would never know by being in my house, except that I know where everything is. Everything has a home. It has a place. If you ask me where one thing is, I know exactly where it is. Everything's organized. It doesn't look like it, but it's organized. I'm an organizational whore. Like, I would love to have a $500,000 shopping spree at the Container Store.
God.
If you gave me $500,000,
you just put your whole place in a giant container.
There would be all kinds of floating shelves and pencil holders and lunch boxes. There'd be all kinds of shit.
I'm gonna throw away. I have been throwing shit away like I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of stuff.
Well, I'm still trying to declutter my house from baby daddy and my daughter and my grandson, and I'm doing one room at a time.
I need to go through whatever furniture you've got out in that garage.
You know what? A lot of it's gone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in fact, I need a dresser, and I don't even have a dresser out there. He got rid of a lot of it.
I do have some things in your garage I need to get.
Okay,
though.
yeah, you do have things in my garage. But, and we're getting ready to clean that, so I'll find them. Well, I know where your wagon is. It's not a problem. It's sitting right there.
Yeah, there's another black chair floating around that's mine.
Yes, there is a black chair floating
And
around.
any shelves you have you don't want, I want. My dad built one of those like pull wagons for my kid.
Oh yeah, and Dad, the first year we did Fan Fest, Desiree had it attached on the back of Bree's
Turn
scooter.
it into the drunk wagon.
Yeah, the drunk mobile. And she had a cooler in it, and we decorated it with all of the cards from everybody at Fan Fest. And she would drive around with her, and it said caution, drunk driver on the back, and
awesome.
Had one of our balloons on it.
Caution, stops at every bar.
Yeah,
so
it was great.
Fun. It was fun.
I think it's still decorated. I don't think we haven't decorated it.
It's still decorated in my garage.
No, but my dad built it for my son because it matches the tricycle that my grandfather rebuilt for my son. My grandfather rebuilt a 1960s Radio Flyer tricycle.
To tell your grandfather, would he like it that it was used as a drunk truck?
My dad would appreciate it. My grandfather has a beer a year.
So my father too.
Yeah. No, but my dad would totally appreciate that.
But it's really, it's really cute. It was really cute that first year that we decorated all up and used it.
For the first 3 years that I had Daniel, every I go to a lot of outdoor events. I love the fairs and shit we have here. I go to almost every San Gennaro if I can. Ren Fair.
Do you go out to the Boulder City Craft Fair? Do you go out there?
I haven't made it out there in a lot of years.
Yeah, I used to go all the time, and I haven't been probably in the last 3 or 4 years.
But every Celtic festival, it was me, that thing, a couple of chairs, and the kid all stowed in there. There have been many a Ren Fair where my son has passed out in that wagon as I'm strolling him through the Ren Fair. Oh yeah, I go to Ren Fair. I have a full garb. I have 2 garbs.
Yeah, she wore me to the show last year after she went. It was great.
I have
I do remember seeing pictures.
Yeah, I do have my ladies.
Boobs.
Yeah, I do have the.
That's on purpose.
I do have the ladies one, and then I have my fighter outfit too. So.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of, where my daughter practices her sports.
Sunset?
No,
you don't go to Sunset?
There is a group of people who I guess it's role playing, but it's not.
Are they using real steel?
They are using foam weapons.
I know who they are.
Who are they?
It's called LARPing. It's live action role play.
Yes.
And there is a group in town that my husband used to be a part of where they use all foam weapons.
Yes.
And their magic spells are little colored bags that they throw at each other. And
these are adults.
These are adults.
And I talked to
there
them
are week-long retreats for these things.
They go to competitions and different events, and they actually hold competitions where they actually fight people with their foam weapons.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Is this like
adults playing children? Yeah, it's basically adults playing dress up.
Okay.
Yeah. It's basically what it is.
Thing.
My husband was totally into this.
Is it kind of like it's a version of a furry, but a medieval something?
Kind of, yeah.
Do they live this life? Like, I know, you know what I mean?
Some of them do. Some of them, it's a full-time thing that they do. They live it, just like SCA or Chivalry and Steel.
Wow.
They live it full-time, some of them. And some of them are just weekend LARPers. Yeah.
That's a LARPer. Now, there's got to be live action role play. LARP. So there has to be more LARPers than just like the medieval kind of LARPers?
Oh, no, there are. There are anything you can imagine. Science fiction, futuristic, historical past. Like, you could almost say that any reenactor is LARPing.
Okay.
It's just live action role playing. But it's generally, that term LARP is generally reserved for people who are doing this like Ren Fair fantasy kind of thing.
Have you seen that show that's on TV now called The Quest, where it's really kind of cheesy. Yeah. It's kind of like now I'm a Survivor girl, okay? Yeah. So I like Survivor, so I like that concept, but this is a little cheesy.
It's a bunch of actors who were hired to participate in a competition.
And they play the one side, and then the reality players play the other side. So it's a scripted reality
show
quest.
Right. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure in real life.
But it's kind of cheesy.
Yeah, it's very cheesy.
I watched it. I've watched 3 episodes. I put it on and play it.
It's the same reason I didn't watch King of the Nerds. It's the same reason I didn't watch, all those other, like, Who's the Biggest Nerd shows.
I think that this will be the one and only season for this show.
Most likely. Yeah. It just doesn't appeal to me. What appeals to me, nerd-wise, is, like, the Will Wheaton Project. Like, he's a nerd icon who is a nerd doing a show for nerds, or the show called The Nerdist, who is a nerd who does a show for nerds by nerds. This whole, like, who's the biggest nerd out there? It depends on what you're talking about, like what your fandom is, or what you're into, or what you're LARPing, or what you're reenacting, or what you're doing.
What would you like to LARP, Toxie? Live action role play. What would you like to LARP?
I want to join these dudes one time.
It's fun.
Because I want to build my own foam.
You want to build your own foam?
You don't have to be a PC, a playing character. In this group, you can be an NPC, and that was what I was going to do when I was going to get into it with my husband. That's a non-playing character. So when these guys go on their quests, they have to get information from people. Well, it's not always other characters they get information from. The tavern owner's not necessarily a playing character. He's a non-playing character who is involved in the storyline, but isn't going to be a part of your quest other than to get information from. So I got the approval, this was so many years ago, to open a whorehouse.
You were going to be the madam!
I was going to be the madam of the whorehouse.
I'm jealous!
I was going to be the madam of the whorehouse. And the way they do whorehouses in LARPing, the way they're supposed to do them when you're LARPing...
Do they really go get blowjobs?
Not always.
Your husband
it's supposed to just be like massages. Like they come in and get a back massage and they're at the whorehouse. Yeah. And I would be, whoever is mastering this particular quest would give me whatever information I'm supposed to have.
To pass on?
Well, it's up to them to learn how to get that information out of me. Whether they have to pay me to get that information or trade me goods or...
wow. This thing's really involved.
It's
now,
very
who's the
involved.
Mastermind behind the story, though? Is there a mastermind?
It's called in Dungeons and Dragons, it's called a dungeon master. A lot of them just refer to them as DMs, dungeon masters, or directional master, or whatever you want to call it.
So they're pretty much telling you, like, as the
right. Generally,
generally
each LARPing group has like a council, or they all get together as one group, and they vote on who is going to be the dungeon master. Now, the dungeon master's job is to decide what the basic quest line is going to be, where you start, where you end, and how you get there. Sorry, I'm very excited about this because this is the kind of stuff.
Because I didn't know about all
this is the kind of stuff that I used to live for. So it's the dungeon master's job to basically design the quest that the characters are going to go on. Okay. And he decides what battles you're going to fight, what you have to do to complete that battle, what your next quest item is going to be that you have to find.
Thing, so they meet every
Not
week.
Always.
Not always.
Not always. A lot of LARPing happens over a weekend. You have to start the story and end the story in the weekend. Or unless you go on
here in chat said that you'd make a fantastic LARP madam.
I would.
Now, here's my question. So, like the DM, the
Mhm.
dungeon master, who is the keeper of the story,
He's
pretty
basically the
much.
storyteller, yeah.
What does he do while the rest of you guys are acting out the story?
He is following whoever, because the story doesn't go in like 4 or 5 different directions. It's really pretty singularly directional. You have a group of characters moving in one direction, and sometimes he'll have like two groups of characters, like they're in a battle thing where they have to fight each other and get the flag or whatever it is that's supposed to be doing. He is coordinating everything.
But he leaves his story open enough, let's say for the battle to get the flag, as to, like, it's not scripted who the winner will be.
No.
Okay, all
No.
right.
He has to account for every eventuality, which is why
What
being a
might
dungeon
happen,
master,
yeah.
being a dungeon master is very
You gotta have
hard.
like plan A, B, and C.
You do, and you have to be ready for any
Oh, that just
eventuality.
sounds like too much brain power for me.
I'm going to tell you, the people who can successfully be DMs are really, really smart people.
I can see why, because
They
you gotta
are
have it all going on there.
Yeah, and they have to be very fluid, so they're usually very laid back people, but they can't be too laid back because you can't just have someone decide, oh, I'm gonna pull out of my bag of holding my sword of Ragnarok and kill everybody with a single swipe. The DM's got to be able to say, listen, asshole, you didn't get that sword in this quest. I didn't allow you to bring that sword to this quest. You can't use that sword in this quest.
Right. Okay. So not only is he the writer, he's the referee.
Yes, and in a lot of LARPing groups, there are some people, like, if you're injured, like, let's say you broke your leg, you can't be a playing character. So you end up being a non-playing character, like the tavern owner or the hobo on the corner.
Now, let me ask you this question. Obviously, when you have these DMs and they're creating your weekend, really, they're almost like your host. They're creating your fun for the weekend.
They spend
Now, is there certain DMs you would rather go to their quest than other DMs because they're better at it?
Usually, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are some people who are just so good at it that people want them to be the DM, and sometimes they never play. I've known a lot of DMs who are just so naturally gifted at it, they don't even have a character. They're just the DM. And this is both for the paper and dice role playing and for live action.
Have you thought about getting back into it?
I have. I actually, Ryan, our
we love
our little
Ryan.
brother here
I
at the
miss
studio.
him on Sunday nights. I do.
He's getting, because he's off on weekends, he's getting a Saturday group together, and because my son is old enough now to play these kinds of things.
Your son would be so into it.
I've seriously thought about getting into it just to introduce him to it.
Because he would be so into it.
Oh, and my son and Ryan get along really well. The two of them, it's ridiculous, have full-on, like, hour-long conversations in my office about cartoons and video games they're playing and stuff like that.
This should make you happy as well. This should appeal to your nerdiness.
Everything appeals to my nerdiness.
Adult women now make up half of all gamers.
Yes.
Outnumber boys under 18 years old.
Wow.
More women are getting into gaming.
I can't do it.
They make up
because of the men into
48%
gaming.
of all gamers. It
Wow,
makes them a
that's
larger
almost
demographic
50%.
than teenage boys.
That's phenomenal. That's because their teenage boys' mothers are saying, "Go to school," and then they're gaming on their games after they're in school.
Well, and not only that, but there are more, like, girl-friendly games. I have been a gamer forever where every character was always a boy. And now, in the last 10 years, you have the option boy or girl when you start playing. And now, instead of it being like this, like, I play a series of games, Icewind Dale, Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter's Night on my computer, where the character is so malleable that I actually have a fat character that I can play who looks just like me, who runs around and kills dragons. Like, that is awesome. And that makes me, as a female gamer, very excited. And a lot more games are coming out now where there is more ability for girls to be just as equal, your female characters to be just as equal as males. In a lot of cases, female characters have the upper hand, especially if you want to be a thief or a scout or things like that, because you're more...
Use your pussy?
No, because you're more agile. The female characters almost always have...
I would use my pussy and my tits and my ass.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Female characters have a very large... When you're live action or paper and dice role playing, that can be a mitigating factor.
Are any of the games that you play adult like that have, like, adult-based themes?
Well,
some of the game that I did.
The median age for video game purchasers is 35.
Yes.
That's
so they have. I mean, they have to have.
That's my generation. That's my people.
I that just blows my mind.
It's a lot of fun. The games that I was playing, yes, there was a lot of sexual innuendo because it was all adults. Um, I played a character. I will throw my last Dungeons and Dragons character out there. His name was Knock, Knock, like knock on a door. I played a male character. He was this giant, like half giant barbarian who's my dungeon master. He was a really good dungeon master. When you were creating your character, you had to decide, and this is not in any of the manuals, so this is something he came up with on his own, which a lot of DMs do. You had to have an exploitable weakness, a weakness that the dungeon master could exploit in the quest at some point. And so that meant that you would have to roll really high numbers to make your weakness not either get your character killed or get your character removed from gameplay.
Okay.
And so Nock's exploitable weakness was women. Just women. Didn't matter, fat, tall, skinny, thin, had a penis, no penis. If it had tits, he had a weakness for it. He wanted to fuck it. Like, that was his goal in life, was to, Nock wants to bang heads and pussies. Like, that was Nock's thing. Like, I want to bang. It didn't matter if he was banging you upside the head with his giant mace. Didn't matter if he was banging you with his giant penis. He just wanted to bang. Nock wants to bang. So in the final game that I played with this particular group, there was this final tower we had to climb through, and each level of the tower was specifically designed to exploit some character's weakness. And Nock was so strong. I rolled ridiculously high numbers creating him. He was ridiculously strong, had ridiculously high charisma, very little intelligence. So he was really hot, really big.
Like a lot of men we know.
Dumb as a fucking box
and
of
we
rocks.
Probably should have called him Moose.
No, we called him Knock. And so he made it. It was given when he created this tower that Knock was just going to basically like barrel through everything and have nothing stand in his way because, food didn't matter to him, gold didn't matter to him, jewels didn't matter to him. The very last, so all the characters were expecting that my character would carry them through this tower because we could, defeat anything we came in contact with at this point. The very last level before we get to the final level, we open the door, and it is a sea of naked women who are all horny and ready to fuck.
And Knock is just...
I had the only way I could get out of this room is if I rolled a 20, which is the highest number on your your dice that you can roll for eventualities and things like that. I had to roll a 20. There was no other way. It didn't matter if I rolled a 19, which is usually acceptable, or an 18 or a 17. I had to roll a 20, and I rolled like a 5, which meant I didn't even make it 3 feet into the door before I was fucking, I had women all over me, and Knock was out of the game. I could no longer play the game. My weakness had been exploited. And so now all of my characters have to go on to the final battle with the final ultimate boss, whatever it was.
Without Knock.
Without Knock, the strongest player in their team. And they were fucked. They didn't beat him. None of them.
I have no idea how all this works. Rolling dice to make Knock have a giant penis.
It requires a lot of math.
Oh, well, then I can't play.
Because you have...
What do you want to do, Tox?
You have your standard D6.
I mean, I was drawn in when you were talking about a room full of pussies. I mean,
Me too. And big cocks.
It also requires...
I'm in.
It also requires a huge imagination. You have to be able to tell the story with everyone else in the room, and the stories that everyone is seeing have to all work together. It's a lot of fun. I love doing it. I haven't picked up a set of dice in years. I'm really thinking about getting into this weekly game that Ryan wants to do. I'm going to say mostly for my kid, but we all know that's a lie.
That's not true.
Not at all. And Ryan's already said that he will come and, whatever quests he comes to will be child appropriate, so...
That's good. That's fun.
So this is all online, or do you have to go
No,
somewhere?
we go to somebody's house. We all have our dice. We all have our character sheets. Everyone usually brings a notepad and a pencil and a calculator because you're going to have to calculate what do I have to roll.
Like work to me. Huh?
It's
That's
a lot of
fun.
fun. It is. We're nerds.
I know, but...
Well, my Silent Mike and Alexia, that's how they met, is in a gaming group like that,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow. I just realized a couple of years ago, I was watching something on TV, and they talked about, you know what it's called, the virtual, where you have a virtual character, and then across the world is another virtual.
Second Life?
Yes.
I have a Second Life
Do you
account.
know what Second Life is?
It's basically real life Sims.
Oh, like, okay.
And then you have your avatar and that avatar, and they meet and they have sex online, and you have a relationship online, your two avatars. And then these
You have a
people,
house, you have a job, you have
and then these
you
two
have a
avatars met in real life, the real life people. Yeah, it's called Second Life. I just learned about it a few years ago. I watched it on TV, and I'm
there
like,
are some people who live
There are
their
people
entire
play
lives.
it?
they
Yes.
stay that's their life. Like
There's a lot
they
of
are that person, and their relationship is with somebody across the world with their avatar.
But they don't meet them.
No, usually they don't.
Rarely.
There are a lot of people out there who say, "Oh, Second Life is terrible. It's taking away from real life." But if you were to go and look at the people who are spending their lives on Second Life, they're the kind of people who wouldn't normally be social, who wouldn't normally have a social life. They
So
wouldn't
maybe that's
have.
the only way they can have a social life.
For a lot of these people, if you went and talked to them, they would say, "I can't talk to people face to face. I have such a huge social anxiety, or I have Asperger's, or I'm a high functioning this, or I'm a quadriplegic who's never going to get laid because nobody wants to fuck a limp dick, but I can be, you know, a 6'5" basketball player on Second Life."
These two people that was on the story that I seen a few years ago, they actually ended up meeting, okay,
falling in love and getting married,
and had a baby.
Yeah.
But then he couldn't stay in this country for some reason, so he went back to his country, and they created the baby in their second life. Now the baby's with mom in this country, and they live their life with the baby and the two people through the internet.
I think it's one of the most amazing things that has ever been created because.
Why do you think it's amazing?
Because there are now literally thousands of people who would have never had any sort of social interaction in their entire lives, who now have an entire community of people they can rely on as friends.
That's true.
That's a good
true.
point.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. There's a lot of people
and it makes the world, this enormous giant world where you would normally never, you know, the high functioning Asperger's kid from, you know, buttfuck Ohio would never in a million years have a friend who lives in Paris, France, except on Second Life.
That's true.
And it makes our world a little bit smaller and more.
And they can be whoever they want.
Community.
Like this guy who maybe is a paraplegic and can't leave his house, maybe a rock star.
Yeah.
On Second Life.
And maybe a real, actual, honest to God. There are people who are honest to God rock stars on Second Life who are making money by recording songs.
I've seen that.
There are people who are millionaires because of Second Life.
Because what they do too, Doc, is they create their business. Like they may be own a florist. So other people in the Second Life community come and buy flowers for their little girlfriends and send them.
Real money.
Maybe the grocery owner of the store in that little Second Life town.
Or a furniture store or a clothing store or a BDSM store. Yeah. And you spend real money for electronic information. And people are millionaires because of this.
Seriously?
Yes.
Yeah. Go home and look at SecondLife.com.
How am I not in on this shit? Can I make my own little store?
Yeah, you can make your own store and
in that community. You
and
can
sell.
You can sell the sex toys in that Second
There's
Life.
There's a huge BDSM community on Second Life.
It's wild, girl. I seen it on TV. What did you just say?
I said I know. I'm one of them. Or I was.
How often do you get on your Second
Life?
Oh,
I haven't been on in years.
Oh, okay.
Once my son hit a certain age, there was no longer any time for this stuff.
Right.
And so I got to say, in the last, 4 years, I haven't been on Second Life in probably almost 4 years.
Gotcha.
And then Paper and Dice I haven't played since before.
I don't think I could do Second Life because I think it would suck me in.
For a lot of people, it does.
Yeah, I know. That's why we'll get on Pinterest. It's going to suck me in.
Pinterest will ruin your fucking
Satan.
life.
I know. That's why I'm not on
Pinterest is the devil.
I know. That's why I'm not on
it. Pinterest was built to make me feel like a waste of a mother.
Feel like a waste of a mother.
My daughter will never go to college. She is not playing with homemade chalk.
Yeah. Why?
We're screwed.
You better make it some homemade chalk.
I better get making some of that. Exactly.
There's no more. No homemade Play-Doh in our fucking house. My child's not going to Princeton.
I just found an article. 10 secret things a man wants in bed.
8 secret things.
Well, it says 8 there and then 10 there.
Yeah, I see.
So we'll say 8. I think it's 8. So you ready?
Listen, I happen to know there isn't a single secret thing men want in bed. Men want pussy, asshole, and face. That's what they want.
Let's see.
You're going to be shocked when you see them.
Number 1, stockings. Guys love it when you dress up in something sexy. They'll get to tear off.
Who the hell are they talking to? Most of the guys I know don't care what you're wearing. Your husband doesn't care, does he?
2, kiss me. They like it when you're the one to do the neck kissing.
See, do the neck kissing.
Okay. Just because two girls said I'm awful, they didn't really say I'm awful, but
I don't believe you're awful.
It was.
I think you need more girl-on-girl
Listen,
practice.
I think so.
That's
too.
what I think it was.
I think that you
Those
and
girls.
Tyra ought to have a lesson together.
That's
Yeah,
not
there we
well.
go.
She loves her some Tyra.
She
I
does.
do. Number 3, full rub down. Guys wouldn't mind a full body rub down
Oh,
after
I'm
hitting
sure.
the gym.
I'm sure they would love that. That's too much work. They should give me the rub down. Give me
That's
the
too
rub
much
down.
work. Number 4, B&B. Sometimes they like to receive the breakfast in bed.
That's too spoiling because then they get used to that shit.
I can't make pancakes, and since that's his favorite breakfast food, it's just gonna be scrambled eggs in a bowl.
Number 5, handcuff surprise. May sound crazy, but guys actually love being tied up.
A lot of guys do. My guy doesn't.
But you like to be tied
I
up.
sure do.
So you give him the handcuffs and go,
Number
tie me up, baby.
Woo!
Number 6, afternoon delight. They love random afternoon fun while still in their work clothes.
Yes, I do. I bet you you could get Mr. Toxie to bust a nut in 3.5 seconds just by going to his work and giving him a blowjob right there. I bet you it wouldn't take a minute to get him to blow his load.
He would be shocked.
You've been at my spouse's place of employment.
I have been. There's plenty of opportunity space there.
But you have to understand that he goes to work in the morning and he is out in that heat sweating and getting gross.
That's why you got to do it in January.
You know what? Bring some body wipes and wipe his balls and his dick and then suck him.
I got some wet ones in my purse.
Yeah, exactly.
I always carry
balls
some.
And penis real quick.
You know what? It's your husband. Lick his dirty balls.
I
only wish I could lick dirty balls. I'm not allowed to touch his testicles.
Really?
They're so sensitive. I'm barely allowed to think about them. They're so sensitive. I just want to. I want to put them in my mouth and suck on them, but that is not allowed.
Okay, so what's the next one, girl?
All right, so we have afternoon
What else
delight.
does men like?
Next, be aggressive. Guys love it when their
like
girl is the aggressive one sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, they like
Some
it.
None
of this is secretive. None of this is a
Number
secret.
8, be the romantic. Sometimes women
always-
forget to show the romantic gestures, so leave a few things around the bedroom for your guy.
Well, we know that's never happening in the Toxie household.
Yeah,
that was her cold, dead heart.
Well, yeah, and they're showing this good-looking man holding a rose, and I'm like, Mrs. Toxie is not giving Mr. Toxie a rose.
There's no way in hell.
I have them in my phone as for her first name Toxie and his first name Toxie. And they are the Toxies in my phone.
Where there's the Toxies.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this has little hearts drawn on the mirror.
You're listed as your first name and Sierra.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how
in my phone.
In mine too.
Yeah.
This
you are
one
literally just sweet cheeks in my phone.
And your son knows the sweet cheek ring.
He does.
This one, there's lipstick drawn in a heart on the mirror.
You're like, I'm not ruining my lipstick for that.
Yeah, exactly. Ruin
My
my
good
lipstick.
lipstick. What are you doing?
No, that's when you go to the dollar
understand.
store and buy one of the cheapos that you would never
Yeah, but
put
then
on.
Who's gonna clean that shit afterward? Me.
You. Yeah, that's true.
What the?
Cold, dead heart.
Oh, she had a cold stone heart.
Oh, what's the next one? Or is that
That
it?
was it.
Oh, my
Oh, see,
God.
none of
I
that
need
was a
more of
secret.
these.
Well, let's do some catch-ups here, guys. Sierra, start us off.
Callie guy went back to California. He'll be there for 2.5, maybe 3 weeks. He's got a big conference he's got to go to and
This was a quick
doctor's
trip.
appointment. Yeah, this was
Wait.
this was 3 weeks.
I'm going to San Diego at the beginning of October.
Cool.
Yeah. So
he'll be back for at least the wedding. Like, I don't know if he'll be here
that's
through the
right.
wedding.
is he going to get his camouflage shirt to wear at the wedding?
I have
Which wedding?
no. My mom's wedding.
Oh, she wasn't here to hear the theme. You got to tell her.
My mom settled on a theme for her wedding. It's camouflage.
Oh, my brother-in-law is getting married, and his fiancée is all camouflage, and hers will be the same.
Yeah,
But
it's like
is it-
Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, but
Yes, Duck
is
Dynasty
it
type.
printed T-shirt camouflage? Like the groom isn't even wearing a tux with like a camouflage
Oh.
humberbund. You know those tuxedo T-shirts?
Right.
This is a tuxedo T-shirt with a camo cummerbund, like
That's
printed
fucking
on,
nuts,
screen
huh?
printed on it.
Her outfit as one of the bridesmaids is a T-shirt, and the
A
ring
camo
bearer has a
t-shirt.
camo T-shirt too.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know that we were going to be in the wedding party, and my mom's still not sure if I'm going to be in the wedding party. She's like, only if I can find the right shirts for you. I'm like, okay. But I am the caterer. I am cooking.
Well, then you don't need to be in the wedding.
No, I gotta cook.
I already have things to do.
I won't be in any of the pictures because I'm busy in the kitchen. Yay!
Yeah, you're all excited. Yeah, no, that's a bit much for a wedding theme.
I love my mom to death, but I really wish she had gone with either the pirate theme or the kilts and gowns theme. Like the pirate theme is great. I know people with pirate boats. Like we could have done this with cannons and the whole fucking sheboing.
For you. We're good.
Like I could have done the pirate theme. No, we could have made this amaze balls. I could have done the kilts and gowns thing because I may not be able to sew a lot of things, but I can make Renaissance gear, which is really weird, but I can sew that stuff. I could have made everybody's Renaissance garb. My mom went with camouflage. Is she wearing a camo
suit?
She's wearing a camouflage dress. She is making. Wait a minute.
Does it at least have like some bling on it?
It's at least silk. It's silk. It's camouflage silk. Winter camo silk. That she's wearing.
I'm scared of this.
Yeah, it's gonna be out in Meadview, so.
I'm scared of this. Camouflage tablecloths. What are you gonna use for the centerpieces? Like netting or
I don't know. I'm not involved in the planning at all.
Oh, the entertainment can be like a paintball contest.
I'm cooking, so I'm gonna be busy.
Oh, you're gonna be.
Yeah, my mom was like, because she tasked me to find the caterer, and I've been, because she wants hamburgers, hot dogs, and potato salad. Like that's what she wants to serve at her thing. So most caterers are like, I'm not driving to Arizona to do that. And most of the caterers in Arizona are like, we don't do hamburgers and hot dogs. So my mom was like, oh, we'll just do it. And I'm like, oh, well then can I volunteer to cook? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, whew.
BBW Karen said her sister and brother-in-law did kilts and gowns and it was great.
Oh, kilts and gowns is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I've seen weddings like that. They are beautiful.
And Callie Guy, when we were talking about the steps, said clothes are just an annoying obstacle in bed. There's even a 5 seconds staring limit on them.
On clothes. Yeah, I think the same way. It's like, look, I'm just gonna get in bed naked because
anytime we've had sex with some sort of kinky clothing on, that's because I've wanted it that way. He doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to get me naked and fuck me.
When we went to the Spartacus party at your company last year, did you guys go have wild sex in your Spartacus gear?
We did not. We had wild sex naked, but not in our Spartacus gear.
Because you guys were both looking so Spartacus.
Yeah, we were very hot.
Very Spartacus.
I still look at that. I have my pink toga, my pink shimmery toga in my closet, and I look at it and I'm like, God, I really want to wear that, but that means I have to put my demon device on, and I don't know if I can handle all of that.
With strapless we bra. We could put some straps on that beast somehow.
Well, it's one shoulder.
Well, we could put actually one little strap on this side, like Toxie SinCityBounty dresses. Yeah. That way you wear a regular bra.
Maybe we'll see.
Okay.
I kind of like it.
I know it's.
I love being able to wear strapless. I just wish it didn't require the device completely and utterly manufactured by the devil himself.
That's the one good thing about not having boobs. Like I'm wearing a strapless bra now. I wear them all summer. I'm in strapless bras because I wear tank tops and the one shoulder shirt.
That's why I went out and bought bras that all matched my shirts, because when I wear my little straps, I have to have a bra. I can't wear a strapless bra. They don't stay up on me.
Yeah. No, what I really want to do, if I ever have the $300 to throw around, is there is a custom corseter here in town who will take your measurements and create a custom undergarment corset for you, where it's silk and steel, but it's not, the kind of steel that's going to kill you. And it's all laced up in the back like they used to wear them, and I'm used to that kind of confinement. Like I have worn corsets and mostly over corsets.
So what's the difference in that bra and a corset, like from
the way it's manufactured? So the corset, it's got a stiffer fabric, so a lot of the support is coming from the fabric, rather than the steel boning.
Yeah.
So the boning is required like in the very front and the very back, and one or two down the sides. My strapless bra has steel boning every 2 inches, and it has steel boning in the cups, and it's got underwires.
Oh my God.
And it's got 85 hooks in the back.
That's like a torture device.
The devil's device. That is what it is.
Yeah, the devil's device.
And but it keeps my boobs up. like
and
right
you do
here.
have to wear that too when you wear your SinCityBounty dress outfit.
Yes, I have to wear that
do.
during my SinCity. I have been able to successfully put myself into my strapless ball by myself once, and I almost passed out doing it.
Mr. Toxie said for the wedding, just to jump back to it, but how about barbecue roadkill or squirrel?
See,
good idea.
I can throw down some rabbit. I really can.
How about some rabbit on skewers? Barbecue them bitches.
Yeah, and rattlesnake chili. Oh my God, rattlesnake chili is so good. If I could get my hands on some game meat, it would be game meat at the wedding. But Mom wants hamburgers, hot dogs, potato salad. I can do all that shit.
Baked beans. That's easy.
Oh, by the way, Callie guy, you were already recruited to work the grill.
He doesn't have to be in the wedding either. There you go. No pictures.
I'm sure he's happy about that.
No pictures. That's so funny. Wow. So, anything else exciting? Kids ready for school tomorrow?
Well, he doesn't go to school tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. He goes Tuesday.
He goes on Tuesday. My kid's in a charter school, and they're only 4 days a week. So, like, he wants to start school tomorrow. Everyone else he knows is starting school tomorrow, except him. He's like, I want to go to school, and I'm like, not yet. Tuesday, and so he's super excited to be going back to school. Yeah. He's got the same teacher, and
which is huge for him.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
That's good.
So yeah, we're super excited about school.
Good
we're all shopped and done. My mom pulled a rare gem out of her pocket this weekend.
Yeah.
She asked me, she's like, have you done, clothes shopping for the boy yet? And I'm like, well, not yet. I mean, he's got enough nice clothes to get him through the first week of school, and then we're going to do
when you get paid.
Clothes shopping when I get paid.
Right.
He's already got new shoes. He's getting his hair cut tomorrow. Like, we've got everything else squared away. Clothes are going to wait a week. And she's like, I'd like to take you guys clothes shopping for... I think that's because she feels guilty with how much money she spent on the new baby.
Already?
My mom
just found out what it is, and she's gone crazy already?
She buys at least 2 or 3 things every single day. Every single
Well, good.
day.
Let her feel guilty and take care of your boy.
Well,
absolutely.
I mean, I even walked in and I'm like, wow, there's like lots of baby stuff.
Yeah, and there's stuff that you haven't seen yet because it's at my mom's house. There's stuff in my room. Like, there's baby stuff everywhere.
How many bedrooms are there?
In that house, there's only 3.
So who loses a room?
Nobody. I refuse to give up any of my 2 rooms.
Her sister's in the master.
Yeah, my sister's in the master. So, and the master suite is huge. That whole kitchen space is the master suite upstairs, plus a couple of feet into the living room. Okay. So, like, the master suite is huge.
It'll be perfectly fine for her and the baby.
Yeah. And
at no point they'll say we'd like Daniel to, or whoever else is in that house.
No, that won't happen. I won't let it happen. Because I was promised the master bedroom actually many years ago.
Well, she actually moved out of the master.
I was going to be moving into it when my mom
moved out.
My mom moved out. I was prepping to move in there and turn my room into a craft room, and like the house was supposed to be mine, and then my sister was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to refuse to get a job and lose my house and move in with you." It's like, okay.
So she doesn't work?
She does now.
Oh.
Yes, she does now. She's back to doing hair now, which is good for her.
Which she should have been doing all along.
Which she should have been doing all along. Well, and
it.
She never had to lose any money ever because right out the gate, as soon as she lost her job for political reasons. So, right out the gate, I had 3 other salons who were willing to hire her. Of course, they weren't hourly salons; they were commission salons, and a part-time job for her here.
Here, yeah.
But she was making so much money on unemployment. Here's the thing I want to tell you people about unemployment. Just because you get a job does not mean you will lose that unemployment. If you get another job and you are making less money than you are making on unemployment, the only thing you will lose is the money you're making at your job. Right, so that difference, they will still pay you.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
So if you're on unemployment and refusing to get a job because you don't think you'll make as much as you are on unemployment, that's the dumbest reason I've ever heard. You will continue to make the amount because it's not just unemployment, it's underemployment.
But Sierra, they have to get up in the morning and go out the house to make the same amount of money. What a pity, right?
What a fucking pity, you fucking cocksuckers.
I agree. No one pays my bills but me. Nobody.
I can't get over these people who won't get a job because then they'll lose their unemployment. The only people who will lose their unemployment is the people who are making $3,000 a month in Southern California and working under the books here. Right. If you got a real job in Vegas, yes, you would lose your California unemployment. But I say if you're going to be on California's welfare, go live in California. Get the fuck out of our city.
For sure.
Because we got people who need jobs willing to work under the book just as much as you are.
Mm-hmm.
So fuck
So,
'em.
Toxie, how was your week? Give us a catch up.
Pooped at my house.
That was like
yeah,
a big
that
thing,
was
huh?
was
big.
big.
I blew my wad
Tell
right
us
there.
about the
Good
label last
things.
night. You didn't talk too much about
Oh,
it.
I mean, there's not much to say. It was
Standard
as
label fun
usual,
night. Okay.
standard label fun night.
Okay.
You know, lots of people, pretty packed. Lots of people celebrating birthdays.
Any blowjobs in the parking lot?
None that I saw. No.
That's the one thing
And
I
none
liked
that
about.
I gave, so.
That's the one thing
And
I
I
liked
wasn't
about.
there, so.
Right? Yeah. Sweet Cheeks wasn't there, so
I
it
wasn't
really,
there,
Yeah.
so.
it completely
Plush
diminished.
at Alexis Park was great for parking lot blowjobs.
Yeah, I'm guilty. A couple times.
I know.
But yeah, no, I mean, it was overall, it was a good night. You know, couple of, I will tell you, I was sitting next to this gentleman, and he was a very, very handsome gentleman, very handsome. And I'm sitting there, and he's just sitting there, like, watching people out on the dance floor. And this was like most of the night. And so I turned and I said to him, do you drink? Nope, I don't drink. Oh, are you going to go dance? Do you dance? Nope, I don't dance. I said, well, when you sit there, you know, if you don't do any of those things, and you sit there, and of course, I had a few drinks that helped me, but and I said,
Don't
so
get off your ass. You're not getting a
it
blowjob.
kind of makes you like a creeper. And he laughed a little, and he turns. He's like, I don't drink, I don't dance. He's like, but I fuck really well. I'm like,
Wow.
Why wasn't I there?
okay.
You're off getting your gay on.
Well, I was trying to get my gay on, but there was nobody there to get my gay on with. I was ready to even get my tranny on. You know, but you know,
never mind. I won't go into that story. But anyway, yeah.
So I was ready to whatever flavor came my way, but there was just way too many boys liking boys last night. So yeah, I wish I would have went and sat next to the man who didn't drink, didn't dance, but fucked really good.
That is the downside to gay bars.
I know, you don't get hit on.
No, there's very few bisexual guys who go to gay bars.
Well, and I know that gay men love fat chicks, okay? They just
But they don't fuck them.
No. They all want to be your friend, and they all want to put their face in your tits.
Mm-hmm.
Gay men love tits.
Gay men love tits.
They do.
And the thing that gay men have that straight men wish they had is the permission to grab tits at any time.
Oh yeah, we don't care.
No.
I had a gay guy. He was at the Red Label the one time, but he came and he's like, "Can I motorboat you?" And I'm like, "Well, I'd pick someone with boobs. I mean, I'm the only girl here who does. I pick someone with boobs." And he's like, "No, don't worry. It's okay. I'm gay." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "But I really like boobs."
Yeah,
So how can you deny that request? There's nothing you can deny.
Right after I got
give it a
divorced,
shot.
there was a guy I worked with that he had just started working and moved from California, and he was looking to rent a room. So I rent him a room. And so one day my daughter says, "Mom, Luke's gay." I said, "Why do you think he's gay?" Well, because there's peach bath gel in the bathroom, and also because when he woke up this morning, there was a man in his room.
Yep,
Well,
he's
yeah,
gay.
maybe he's gay. But he had this little.
He's either gay or he's dated Sierra.
And
one of the two.
And he always likes my friend is a big guy, but he always liked little tiny Hispanic men. And he had one that actually ended up moving in with us for a while. His name was Javi. But every morning, Javi would open up my robe and just to like lay his face and just like nuzzle in there. And then he'd go, "Okay, I'm good for the day now."
Got his boob fixed. All the gay guys I know are cowboys, so I have no
gay cowboys.
Yeah, all of my gay boys are not normal gay boys. They're all.
Do they like tits?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Because you know why?
It doesn't matter.
That's one thing a gay man can't get from another gay man is tits.
It's tits, yeah. What is this?
You know, just can't happen. So what else we got for catch-up talks?
Not much. I missed last week. We were in California.
But good news in California, right?
Yeah. They had a really great sporting event. Went very well.
Is your kid ready for school?
She's nervous.
As much as she's going to be, other than the fact that I spaced today and she's not getting her back to school haircut. But she didn't really want, she just wears it long and, she has lots of headbands and bows. I just wanted to trim to kind of keep it healthy or see if the person doing her hair, had maybe some suggestions of
Come over tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's haircut night at my house. This is the one thing, my sister is a really good hairstylist, so.
Yeah. My guy had to have his hair Friday night. Coco was over Friday night and did little man's hair for school and got him all ready.
Yeah.
So.
It'd be different if I feel bad. It's the first time ever I'm normally very on top of all of this. But it's not as, it's straight and long, curly.
Well, it's very similar to your hair. She has, very similar to you.
So I just wanted to, I checked, her ends are good, so it's not like it's all nasty or anything. So she just want a little trim. So
there you go.
But she's as set as she can be.
Will she sleep tonight?
She's she's very nervous. It's a big
junior high
jump for her, and so she's nervous.
I got to tell you, I never slept well. I was an insomniac through most of my teen years. I never.
Sad for a teenager.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes and no. Like I'm way more cultured than most kids my age because I was up at 2:00 in the morning watching all the old reruns of. All the old shows and
like Happy Days and
right.
I Love Lucy.
And I had a huge
Nick at Night.
Like when they brought the Count on to do Count's Customs, I knew who he fucking was because I watched him every Friday and Saturday night when he was the Count who he was like Vegas's Elvira. He was the host of the midnight horror movie marathon. Yeah. And I had a huge crush on him.
You guys probably don't know this, but does any of you remember Mary Hartman? Mary Hartman? That was when I was in junior high, and in the summer, it was like one of those TV series that was on like at 12:30 every night. It was like a guy drowns in what do you call it? Chicken soup one night, and one guy had his balls bit off by a dog, so they gave him dog balls. I mean, it was just the weirdest show, but it was called.
And then he's
Mary
humping
Hartman,
people's legs.
Mary Hartman. Yeah, exactly. But I was like in junior high, like 7th, 8th grade, and it was the summer, so my mom didn't care what time I went to bed. But it was like I had to watch Mary Hartman. It was like the one thing I could do because I could stay up late and watch Mary Hartman. Hartman. But I'm really showing my age.
I never slept well the night before the first day of school. Luckily for me, my kid is a sound sleeper. Like when it's bedtime, you're like, go to bed, and he is upstairs in bed and out like a light.
Right.
And he sleeps through the night, and I wake him up in the morning, and sometimes it takes a little while to get him revved up. But
my little guy,
no complaints.
He wanted his own alarm clock this year. So he could, get up, and he'd say, that way if my mom's alarm goes off and she shuts it off, I can still get up.
I asked my kid, you want your own alarm clock? He said, no.
No, mine asked for him. So we went to Big Lot and got him his own alarm clock. And so he's all good to go. So my catch up, what's going on with me? I'm leaving Tuesday for California again, and I'll be back Sunday. So I'll be on the show Sunday night. What else? Crazy ass requests from people like run me over with my car and I'll give you $30,000 and
I'll do it.
I said to him, what good am I going to do with $30,000 if I'm in jail?
Yeah.
But he said, that's the ultimate squashing fetish. I said, I'll squash you, but I can't run over you. Sorry.
Right.
Squash your ass all you want.
There might be a way to rig. Here's my engineer going off in my head.
Oh, yeah, come on, sister. Get me $30,000. I'll give you a cut.
There might be a way to rig a kind of bridge that's on some sort of bungee system that you could run one wheel up and over him, and it would squash him without putting the full weight of the car on him.
Well, he said something about, like, I'd be pretty banged up, but I'd be alive. I'm like, where are you going to have me run after I run over you before the ambulance gets there?
Well, like I
can go around the corner and dial 911 for you, but they're going to want to know who the fuck ran over you with a red Yukon, okay?
Yeah, but if you have first off, don't use your car, use his. But yeah, I think there might be some way to rig a bungee system, some sort of bridged bungee system, so you could get the
enough
feel
weight
of
so
the
he
weight,
would have that,
right? But without pulling the full weight and possibility of death on there.
It ain't worth all that, okay?
I'll $30,000.
I'm telling you.
I'm going to tell you, $30,000 is more than I make in a year. So
I mean, but the more I take these calls from these fucking freaks, okay, because there's a lot of now. You know what? I have no problem with men who let fetishes. I've done my poop zone, my pee zone.
Have we done the poop yet?
I did do the poop.
Somebody pooped on you?
No, I pooped on them.
Oh, that's not the same.
Yeah, no, I've not. You know what? The request mostly is for the women to poop on the man.
Oh,
like, there's not very. I don't know what it is with the fetish, but, you
Do you
know.
take a laxative or?
I did. I tell you what I did. I I I
I
I
can
had
pretty much poop on command now that I've had my gallbladder out, but
well, yeah, well, I had to be prepared. Like I had to know, like I had to schedule this time very carefully, okay? Because I didn't want to schedule it where I possibly could have another client after because I didn't know what the
effect would be
of the
laxative.
laxative. So actually, I took like half a laxative, okay? And I knew that I hadn't gone all day, so it was
Gonna be a good
good.
one.
Yeah, it was fine. It was just
Big
fine.
Cleveland steamer right on his chest.
Actually, it was on his belly.
Really?
Yeah, he was on the floor, and I straddled him, and he wanted me to just,
Poop right on her.
and I, yeah.
What did he do
you have to
afterwards?
read
Did
a
he
book?
play with it?
Um, he did a little bit on his belly, and I just let him. What's that?
You need to write
Did
a
you have to
book.
read a book like while you're trying to
She's
poop?
not like you.
No, no. I had taken a little part of a laxative, so and I knew I had to go. Like I had eaten all day, and I purposely like made sure I didn't go, and like it's planning to
Did
do
he ask
that.
for a certain consistency? Is he like
No,
make sure it's not diarrhea
I don't think
or?
he cared.
Just poop.
I just think I don't think in fact he might have liked it runnier. I don't know. But it wasn't runny, it was soft from the laxative, but it wasn't like diarrhea runny. But I got a lot of money for that.
What, out of curiosity, you don't have to tell us what you made. What would you say an average range is to poop on someone?
I think it starts at $400 in my mind. When somebody quotes me and says, "Will you shit on me?" I depending on what they want, I ask their scenario, but it starts at 400, and that's just a basic.
And that's just pooping on your belly.
Yeah, that's what it starts at. Now, there's people that say, "I want to eat your shit." There's people that say, "I want you to shit in your panties and watch me eat it out of them." Those I would definitely charge a lot
Oh,
more. I ain't
oh,
eating no
that's so
shit.
gross. My ears
I
hurt.
know.
My
Well,
ears hurt.
oh, by the way, before I forget, girls, our really good friend of the show, Jezebel Jolie, who we
Mhm.
I
love.
saw.
Jezebel was she drives her little pink scooter around town to get around.
Mhm.
She was hit by a truck this week.
Oh my God.
Jezebel is in a body
Cast?
brace.
Oh, body
She
brace.
she broke a vertebrae, she broke an arm, and there was a third thing, a rib. So everybody keep her in your thoughts and
Her
send her a
her
little
pictures
message.
were
Yeah,
horrific.
she's in,
Absolutely
and
horrific.
she does not have insurance. So another friend of ours was going over there this week to help her get a hold of Obamacare and see what they can do for her. But everybody, before I forget, just keep her in your thoughts. Now, here's an interesting thing, you guys. I had somebody call me and they wanted to do smoking fetish. Now, basically, they want me to sit and smoke and let the smoke surround their body. I can do shit better than I won't take a smoking client.
That's up to
You
you.
know what I mean? And I looked at my friend Eliza.
One thing affects your health and one doesn't.
Well, you know what? It's just personally me. I don't want to be in a room filled with smoke. It's just my thing, okay? I don't have a problem with my friends smoke. All my friends smoke. They smoke in my house, my yard, whatever. I don't care. I'll go to the bar, but it's my thing that I just don't like that. So it's true. Eliza and I are talking about. I go, Eliza, because when I get that, I refer that client out to somebody else. I want somebody to get the business, but I said I would rather shit on somebody and do peeing or even have them shit on me than to do a smoking fetish. I know it sounds crazy, but
I
that's my
Wow.
I
thing.
would rather at this point have someone poop on me than pick up another cigarette.
Yeah.
I worked really hard to be smoke
Right.
free.
And one cigarette could
One
trigger
cigarette.
that
Yeah.
I
nicotine
happen to know for a
receptor.
fact
Yeah.
that one cigarette will put me back on
Yeah,
smoking.
it will trigger that nicotine receptor
So
and you're done, girl.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's just my thing. I think it comes from when I was a little girl, we went over to a family's friends. I remember I was about 4 years old and we were swimming and he went to put the orange life jacket on me. And the whole time he had a cigarette in his mouth. Now I'm like 3 or 4 years old and this thing's like this far from my face as he's tying up my life jacket. And I just remember that event so strongly in my head that it's affected me.
Mm.
You guys know
Always.
I'm 420 friendly like the day is long,
Mhm.
but I don't want none to do with no nicotine. I'm crazy.
Mhm.
I'm crazy. But anyway, as I was saying, like the more I like do this fetish work and get calls, like I just sit back and go, at what point does somebody say, let me try to have somebody shit on me and see if it turns me on. Like, what triggers in their brain?
Well,
Yeah.
usually
with
it
some of
starts.
this?
Usually, some of that stuff starts with. I know a lot of people who are into the weirder fetishes as
Oh yeah.
friends. And so where it starts is it's less about the poop itself. It usually starts more as that it's a taboo, and they want to do something that is taboo.
Taboo.
And it starts with porn. It always starts with porn. Whether it's paper porn where you pick up a magazine and it's a girl covered in poop or a guy covered in poop.
Do you know that
and it progresses. They don't just go straight from, oh, you know what? I think I want someone to dump on my chest today. Like, it usually progresses.
But like these people that are into these shitting fetishes, a lot of them peeing, there's never any happy ending. It's just that.
Yeah.
And so they must have some ritual that they perform when they leave
Usually
me.
after you've
when
left,
they leave,
they're masturbating the
exactly.
shit out of themselves.
They must have some kind of ritual that whole thing.
Most of them do. Some of them will do it while you're there. Most of them
No, most of
them won't.
No.
Because it's they'll pay you to come and poop on them, and then they don't want you there for them to get off on it.
Exactly.
Because it's so taboo. It's still bad for them to want to do it.
He got up off the floor and put what was the contents of his belly on a piece of plastic, it was like a flat plastic bag, okay? Put it on there. I got dressed. I have no idea what he did with my shit after I left.
He did all kinds of weird things.
And you know what? I don't really want to know.
I'm going to say he did all kinds of weird shit.
You know what? I don't want to know.
How long
I was there there was actually some other like degradation, like he wanted me to tell him how small his dick was, and you're a piece of shit, man, and spit on him a little. It was all about just really telling him he was like a piece of shit, and
You're
then,
such a piece
and
of
then
shit.
literally shitting on him. So I was there maybe 45 minutes to an hour at the most. And like I said, I know he saved it because it didn't go to when I left there, it was not in a toilet, okay? So I cannot tell you what happened to that.
I say live and let live. Let everyone do whatever fetishy thing.
And you know what? I'm very open-minded.
As long as you're not
judge.
As long as nobody's dying, I don't care what you do.
I had this little boy come to me with a fart fetish. Now he was little boy, I say, like, because he was in his early 20s, like he was 24, 25, and he called me on the phone and he says, I have a fart fetish. It's almost like he whispered it, okay?
I want you to fart on me.
He goes, and I know I can get one of those squeezy things and it'll make the fart. Like he's really like whispering. I go, no problem. We'll take care of that for you. So he comes and he sits on the corner of the bed and he's with his head down. And I looked at him and he goes, I'm so embarrassed. I said, why are you embarrassed? I just found this, that it turns me on, and I don't know why it turns me on, and it's so strange.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I had a fart fetish for a little while.
What is it? What is it about a fart fetish?
Okay, so here's the thing. When Baby Daddy and I were together, sex was very not regular. And it usually because I think he's a repressed sadist. I think he really wants to be a dominant in a relationship, but he's been the submissive in so many relationships. He's
very submissive in life. Yeah.
He just doesn't know how to bring that out in himself. And so sex kind of turned rough, and it would get kind of rough with us. And I liked it, but he would always be freaked out afterwards. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to choke you. And I'm like, that was great. Just saying. But anyway, one time we got done, we were just so exhausted because the sex was just exhausting with him. Not like, it wasn't always in a good way exhausting.
Right.
A lot of times it was just like,
up exhausting.
Yeah, it was just, whew, that was a workout exhausting.
Right.
And he was still inside of me and semi-hard, and he farted, and his dick vibrated inside of me. And I had another orgasm. I made him do it every time after that.
Oh, no, that's so cute.
And every time he farted, I'd be like, whoo.
That's funny. But this poor boy was so embarrassed, you guys. He was just like, I can't. And I'm like, don't be embarrassed. Who else knows that you like farting but you, unless you tell them?
Mm-hmm.
So did you do the air?
Yeah, the little, the little thing that you use for the baby's boogers. Yeah, you put air in your rectum, and then farting just happens by itself.
It's like fake burping.
Yeah, it just
I
happens.
can burp on command.
So can I.
Now, we do have this fella that Eliza and I see together in California. This one will trip you out. We're almost done, I know, but I'll make it quick. He's actually an older gentleman. He's like in his late 50s, and he had polio all his life. So he walks with crutches. But he gets down on the hard floor, and he wants us to trample him in 4-inch heels. He actually brought me the 4-inch heels because I didn't have any. He had a size 11, and literally stomp on him and jump on his belly. The more weight, Eliza and I both stomping on his belly at the same time.
What if you puncture it and murder him?
Well, that's what Cali guy was saying. We always film it, okay? I shouldn't say always, but in situations like that, we have a little camera that we put, like it's a.
But do you have him sign a disclaimer? Like,
we
if
don't,
you puncture
but that's
my
exactly
liver,
what
yes.
we were talking about.
Yeah, you
with
need
Cali
to have.
guy. Well, he's
you can
coming.
write up a blank contract and fill in the details where the action to be performed by the people, right. And then everybody signs it.
Well, we are actually going to film with him this time for our clips. We're going to, because trampling is a huge clip seller. So we're actually doing that, and we will have to have him sign all the agreements to do that now. So we will have all of that on file now. Yeah. So but yeah, that's my crazy life right now. So I'm crazy. But yeah, but life is good. I'm okay, it's fun. I really need to write a book here in my old age about what I'm doing, because the more I do this fetish stuff,
Fetish after 50.
Fetish perfect name.
50 years of fetish.
Well, I haven't been doing.
No, you know how they have like
Fat
Mama? 50? No, Fat and 50.
Fat and 50. Yeah, because
are you 50?
I'm 52.
Okay, yeah, so Fat and 50.
50 Shades of Fetish.
52 shades of fetish. But so I've been doing this all my life, but I'm learning a lot, because like I'll get a request and go, what does those initials mean? And I am online doing my studying. And
yeah, you're going on Urban Dictionary like.
No. Oh. You go onto FetLife and you put those initials into the search bar, and it will tell you what they are.
It tells you right away. Mm-hmm. It sure does.
It's way better than Google for fetish shit.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Like CIF, come in face. I mean, I don't even know what a lot of it is. I have to look about crazy pants. Okay, I'm sorry, but we're almost done here, huh?
We are done here.
Okay.
You're listening to The Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City. This is Sierra.
Sweet cheeks.
And Taxi.
Wishing you all a good night, and remember, fuck often.